Yes, guys, we are live. Move TV. This is a Move TV special. Graham usually does this, but Andrea and I are, well, we come on once a month. We have, I was going to say we interview. It's not so much of an interview, more of a conversation with a special guest, a chat. What's that chat about? It's to delve deep into someone's business, get some nuggets, understand how have you grown your business, what have you learned, what can the people watching learn from watching this. So that's what this is about today. We've got Lou Tonner from Wonder Films. Andrea, you are, I was going to say, I don't know what you are compared to me. We're just equal. We're just presenters.
The director's a move.
With the director's a move, definitely. That's definitely true. And in the background, Graham, do you want to just pop on and say hello? You're our technical maestro in the background doing the stuff. So if anyone's got any good questions, Graham will see him. If it's good enough and he selects it, he might put it on the screen. So if you're watching live, definitely put something in there. And if you're watching this on a replay, put comments wherever you're watching it, whether it's LinkedIn, Facebook. I don't even know where we stream it. It's to lots of things. Graham's doing his thing in the background. We're doing what we do. So we will start right now. So Lou, great to have you with us. We've heard a lot about what you've built. I've seen the video you've done for your own promotion, which is, I suppose, what you do for other businesses. Do you want to just explain briefly for people watching, what is it you do? What's the company name? We know what it is, but what do you provide to clients?
Yeah, thanks for having me on firstly. So I'm Lou and I'm the co-founder and COO at Wonder Films, and essentially we're a content marketing agency. We create really cool video content, motion graphics, all that kind of digital content that people can use to promote themselves online. We do that. We specialise in video production, so that's our thing, and we absolutely love it. We're just a bunch of creatives that love to be making videos and content that makes a massive impact.
So how did your journey start, Lou? How did it start?
Oh man. My journey, or the company journey, because
well, I'm sure they'll merge into one as you get started.
I got into it because I was studying media at college. I kind of I fell in love with creating content and making videos, and I went to university and studied TV and film production. I was also in a band, and I would create videos, music videos, that kind of thing, and market the band. And then I was in and out doing bits here, bits there, but it wasn't really a full-time career until I met Clover and we set up Wonder.
And just to point out, just so people understand, is it just you guys? Is it a small operation? Definitely not. You guys have got 20 people in your team now. Is that right?
Yeah, we're 20 people hiring at the moment. So it started off with the two of us. And it's just grown since then, in 5 years.
We've got we coach clients who have, similar to yourself, start out on their own. They're good at what they do from a technical level. They build a company. Someone in a similar type of creative industry is now in there's 10 people in the team and they're turning over maybe £1 million thereabouts. But it starts out in his own, in his bedroom, almost a similar thing to you, just sort of give it a go, something I'm interested in. We were speaking earlier about the fact that when you started, it was actually done a bit ad hoc as you were traveling. Tell us about that, because that's I love the way. Will you tell me what you said about the fact that how you started, the equipment you had, that type of thing, and where you were in the world?
Oh gosh, yeah. So I mean, before we even went to the other side of the world, Clover and I, Clover's also my partner in life as well, and we were in a band together, and then we decided, right, okay, we need to figure out what we're doing. Bought a one-way ticket to Australia, and it was in Australia that we we were working on TV pilots, and that's when we were like, do you know what, we should have been doing this all along. Clover's like a real big creative, like it's all about the strategy and like the big idea, the big picture, and creative ideas, and I'm more like the behind the scenes and the technical. So we kind of, it just made sense. But we were traveling in Australia. We lived in Sydney. We had a backpack like about this big, and we lived out of that. I mean, we even when we had a house in Sydney, we lived pretty much. We had no possessions, so we got I bought a broken GoPro off my brother before I went to Australia. It cost me 50 quid because he wasn't going to just give me it for nothing. He actually now is employed by Wonder Film, so it all kind of went full circle. But he sold me this GoPro, and when I say it's broken, he didn't tell me it was broken at the time, but every time it went underwater, it just conked out. And the footage was always still there, but it took forever to like kind of dry it out, and it was a bit of a disaster, to be fair. So I bought an actual camera, a small one, and a small laptop, and we spent 14 months approaching tourism businesses, hospitality businesses, creating social media content for them, and that's pretty much how it started. Very small.
Yeah. And I mean, my takeaway from that when we spoke about that was that you got started without all the gear. It was just an old second-hand broken GoPro cam, a basic laptop. Like, you don't need to pay out all the money for all the sophisticated stuff. You can still get started on a budget, because there's a lot of people watching this that might be employed now thinking of starting a business, or they've just started and they want to grow. You don't need to be investing in all the highest quality stuff. These days, you can record stuff at high res off your phone. You don't need all the hot, and you've actually got all the best stuff now, but you've built up to that.
Too right. We've always said, like, it's how you use the things that you've got, and your technical and your creative ability and skills. That's the kit is just a way to like create, to help you create the things in your head. Like you can create, absolutely, like we created videos on this small camera and a small laptop, but the quality of those videos was still really good. But it was, now that we've got like a bigger team and better kit and more kit and different types of kit, we're able to create like pretty much any idea that comes in our head. We can now create that, and so yeah, it shouldn't come down to like, oh, I've only got a £200 camera, I can't create really cool content, because like whether you got a £200 camera or a £20,000 camera, like it's more about how you use it.
So in business, you've got the equipment. It doesn't matter really what discipline in business. The biggest issue most business owners have is you can't run a business without people. And then when you employ people, your headaches and concerns and constraints change. What has been your biggest challenge now you've grown a business to 20 people?
Biggest challenge. I think, good question. I think business is challenging, and I think like you go through so many ups and downs, and like it could be like one week you're like on top of the world and everything's going amazing and you're winning these contracts and your clients are saying like how amazing everything is, and then the next week like just things could be like really, like it feels like things are kind of like hitting against you. And I think like it doesn't matter what industry you're in, and everybody feels that. I think challenges, for us, like it's not really a challenge as in a bad challenge, but it's more like it just constantly like trying to think like how it'd be one step or two steps or 10 steps ahead. Like things are changing so fast. Like Wanda is so different now to what we were like a year ago or 2 years ago, and definitely like unrecognizable from what we were 5 years ago. So like I think things move really quickly in business, especially if you're working in tech or digital. So I think the challenge is always like being right. Okay, like we're thinking like 3, 4, 5 years, 10 years ahead, and how to constantly innovate and evolve. Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest challenge off the top of my head. But as was, ask me next week and it might be a completely different answer.
That's real.
Yeah. So you work with clients. What you do, a lot of it is computer based, but you have to go out videoing and creating stuff for clients. Do you work with just people local to you because you're up in the northeast and Middlesbrough, or do you have clients across the UK or even the world, or just stay local?
Yeah, we have clients all over the UK, Ireland, Europe. Internationally, we work with a lot of regional clients. We love working with people in our area, whether that's in Teesside or like a little bit further, like Newcastle and in Yorkshire. But absolutely, we're not restricted by location. And even when we like go out and film, like the other month, we were driving the Wonder van to the west coast of Ireland to shoot up a mountain for a global PPE brand. So like, yeah, it's exciting. It's cool that we can put the Wanda back in Wanda Films and work with clients all over. But yeah, a lot of the work that we do, it might be the filming might be based in a certain location, but there's so many other bits to what we do, like the strategy, pre-production, post-production, graphics, social media management, all that kind of stuff that we can do from anywhere in the world. So yeah, we work with regional clients and big global brands as well.
What is the most wacky idea you've come up with that when it was first thought of, you thought there's no way we can do that, but you actually got the outcome you wanted?
Oh, that's a good question. Wacky. I mean,
or different, or outlandish, or shows the spirit of what? Yeah.
Yeah. I think like pretty much every project we do, we try to do it in a very different way. So even if it's just your standard like interviews or whatever, we're always looking at ways like how will this beat the scroll, and that's our thing. But I think I think probably for me, the one that I've just mentioned again, like I don't want to just mention the same project again, but climbing Croagh Patrick on the west coast of Ireland takes about 4 or 5 hours to get up there with all the kit to shoot an interview up a mountain, like far away from home. Like I think if we thought about, like, even when we were planning it, we were like, there's so many things that could go wrong here. Like we could get there, it could be raining. What if it's raining for the entire week? Then we won't be able to do it. Like, and the fact that we had to like think about what kit we'd taken, because our kit's really heavy. So even packing light, like people in the army, like they would carry like all of that weight up a mountain for training, but not us, not a bunch of people making videos. But yeah, I'd probably say that's up there, definitely.
Yeah. Lou, you just said something which is your tagline, which is "beat the scroll." Which, I mean, as soon as you say that, you sort of know what that means straight away. People.
I have never heard that, but it made perfect sense. And I'm like, I love that. Beat the scroll.
That's why it's trademarked as well, isn't it? So it's people just do scroll, and it's like, how do you get content which beats the scroll? Where someone says, "Wait, I've got to watch that." Obviously, some people might not be able to afford services like yours, where they're not at that level yet, where they can invest in really good, video production. But if someone's trying to do it themselves for LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, is there any fundamentals which you can share where you say, at least have these 3 things in your video to get started? Because hopefully if those people can have a go themselves and be successful, get the money coming in and get some, some more clients, hopefully you can get to a level where they then say, I'll now use someone like Wonder Films to do this for me because I can actually afford it. So what can we do to encourage people to make their own videos and make them good?
Yeah, practice. I think we do a lot of consultation for businesses that might not be ready to outsource it or hire somebody in-house to do that. So but the advice that we always give is just like keep practicing. And I'm terrible at taking my own advice. Like Chloe Clover, my partner, she's the face of Wonder, and she can whack out a phone or be stood in front of like the kit in the studio and just speak to camera confidently and whatever. But the more you do it, the easier it gets. And I think just using anything that you have available, like if it's shot on a phone, like that's better than not shooting anything at all. And you can shoot something, but you don't have to post it. So just kind of doing it just to get a little bit at ease at it. And then when you're ready to start posting, it's just about posting consistently. There's no point in posting like once every day. For 3 weeks and then not posting for 3 months and then only posting like once a year and once there. Like you just got to just start doing it. You don't have to commit to posting everything that you create, but just start creating and take advice from other people as well. Like see what other people are doing, and it doesn't have to be people in your own industry. So yeah, that's probably my advice to somebody that might not be in a position to outsource or hire in-house.
So just changing away from business for a second, I'm assuming it's an assumption Wonder Films came from the fact that you guys were wandering. Do you still get to wander? And if so, what is your favourite destination?
Yeah, we do definitely get to still wander. It kind of stopped because of like 2021 and the pandemic and everything. So but things are starting get back to right. Okay, we're like this year we're probably going to be going to Norway and France very soon in the next few months. So and those are 2 places that, well, I've been to France before, but I haven't been to Norway before. Like I said, we've just been to Ireland. We get inquiries all the time. We're working with a company in Asia at the moment. So yeah, there's so much opportunity now that restrictions are long gone, and like we can actually like start getting out and wandering again. But that's why we set it up in the first place. We were wandering, and then we came back home to base ourselves in Teesside so we can grow the company. But we always had in our head that we don't want to change our name because we always want that to be part of who we are. That's how we started, and that's how we want to continue.
Yeah.
So our team of us in the get to fight over who goes to these shoots overseas.
I was just about to ask, then how do you decide which team members and who's going to go on each one of these site visits?
Yeah, it's
when you sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say, like, it can be hard because when it's somewhere like really cool, everybody wants to go. So yeah, it's a hard one.
That's it. Now, bring it back to business, because again, what you've just described is what I think a lot of business owners at your level who they employ a few members of staff, they'd love to go traveling or love to go away for a few weeks. But if you say to most business owners, could you leave your business and just go and do what you want and come back 2, 3, 4 weeks later? A lot of them would say, well, it'd be a challenge. I'll probably be on my phone a lot and micromanaging and don't know if I could trust my staff and there's all this stuff. What's your organisation like now? Can you comfortably go away? Are you still developing your team from a leadership point of view, or have you got really good leaders? And how did you get to that?
Yeah, it's so it's hard to take time out, but not because we feel like we have to be there to control or anything like that. Like, that's far from it. Like, our team are really amazing and competent. Like, they're really, like, we're really lucky to have a team that are like really, they work so well together, technically and creatively, like, just unbelievable. Like, we have a very like, you just have to walk into the studio at Wonderland and it's just buzzing with energy, and that's amazing. So, like, taking time out, it's up until recently we couldn't, but we do now, and it feels nice. Like, even if it's only like 3 or 4 days, like, we know that everything is amazing at Wonder, and I think that's just down to the team, the leads in the team, the heads ofs, it's just, yeah, it's pretty special. And yeah, we're actually, Clover and I are getting married in August, and the whole team are coming to the wedding. So
here's a question. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Will you have an external company doing the video of the day, or will your team be doing it?
We haven't really thought about that. You know what? We've only booked the food and the venue and the TP. So we haven't really thought about photography or video. I don't know. You know, like, definitely not the team. We want the team to be there and actually just be there to enjoy the day and whatever. But I'm probably going to take the drone, and I'm probably going to take a camera. So, like, maybe if, like, somebody wants to pick it up and get a few nice shots, like, that might be cool. But I think we'll probably just leave it as that and just take pictures on our phones and our camera that we take, and the drone, and Polaroid.
Do you know what? And do you know what? With the experience of your workforce, I'm pretty sure with everything dotted around, you'll be able to get an amazing pieces. I've been married 30 years this year, and I put cameras on the table 30 years ago, disposable cameras on the table for every table. So I asked people to take pictures looking outwards rather than just inwards. So we got the look and feel of the room. So
Absolutely. Yeah. That, I will probably do something similar. Like, there's no pressure, nobody's there to work, but yeah, we can all, like, we all love it. So, like, if there is a camera or 2 cameras there in the drone, like, the team are gonna want to just, like, just grab a little bit anywhere. So, but if not, like, it'll just be
enjoyment. Being creative, so even though they're on, you know, a night out and they're at a wedding, that's actually sort of therapy for them. It's like they're getting to do what they love doing in an environment that's a nice day for them. So they'll enjoy it. One thing that comes to mind when we spoke about the fact that, you know, your team generally, you're saying that they're really good, they're competent, you can leave and you can go away for a few days, and you're at 20 staff members now. You know, there's 20 people in the team overall. How do you, because a big issue now in every industry is finding the right staff and then keeping them, finding that talent. What's your selection processes of people you know? Do you use recruitment agencies? How have you grown your team, and how do you select the right people to become part of your team?
I suppose it depends what role they're coming into. A lot of our team, when we first started, they came in as juniors, and then the juniors worked their way to mids, and then the mids worked their way to leads, and then there'd be new mids and new juniors coming through, and that's the way we pretty much had to do it at the start. But that also, like, was really great because we got people that were just really, really hungry for it, and, like, there weren't people necessarily that were fresh out of college or uni. Like, some of these people that were coming in as juniors were, like, coming up to 30 years old and wanted a complete career change, but they really wanted to be involved in Wonder and Wonder's journey, and and those people are still with Wanda now, and they're now heads of and mentoring the next people coming through. But then we've hired people in lead positions and heads of because of their heaps of knowledge and experience, and so I think it really does depend. But one thing that we do when we're recruiting is we don't rush the decision, and we get it's a little bit of an unusual one, but because we're a video company, we get people to send in a video with their CV, kind of introducing who they are, what experience they have, and why they want to work at Wanda. It's just a 2-minute video. It can be done on the phone. It doesn't have to be a great production value or anything like that. It doesn't have to be glossy edit or anything like that. But it's just kind of get a flavour of their personality and why they want to join into that position. So I think by doing that, we instantly that person really wants to come and work at Wanda because of this reason or this reason, and I think that's really helped. It helps with when we're interviewing and things like that. And I don't know. It's just we just did it at the start, and it's always stuck. So and it's we've done all right so far.
We've just had a question from Craig Carlton, who's watching live, and he said, does anyone ever start? Does everyone start as a freelancer? That could maybe be, does anyone start as a freelancer? So do you ever have freelancers that you work with and then they end up become a part of the team?
That hasn't been the case at Wanda so far. We're, I suppose, at Wanda, everybody here is full-time employed. People will come and they don't start as a freelance with us. We've only just now, like in year 5, put out 2 positions for the TV side of what we do, and those 2 freelance contracts. But other than that, like the agency, the marketing agency, the content side, that's all just full-time employed people. So but we have taken like interns from universities, and then after that internship we've taken them on full-time, and the same with apprenticeships. Every apprentice that we've had, when they've finished their apprenticeship, they've been taken on full-time as well. So yeah.
Spot on. Susie saying hello. I wanted to just check in because we were speaking about, I know Craig came in, but you were saying about that I like that interview process, like send us a video so we can actually see the person, see what the charisma's like, see what you come across like, did you speak well? What's the best? Did you get anyone trying to be creative? And what was is there any memorable videos that you can remember? Like, actually, that's pretty good that they've got the job before we've even had the interview.
Yeah. One person decided to do a bit of skateboarding at the end of the video, and then they picked up the skateboard and said, I don't really skateboard, but I know that you guys skateboard. So he got the position and he's still with us now, and we thought that was pretty special, like going outside and doing a bit of skateboarding just to show that you've done your research and you know who we are and what we do in our spare time and that kind of thing.
This has nothing to do with business or Wanda or Move, but I love following dogs that skateboard. They are just awesome.
I've seen Andrea posting videos of this.
Honestly, it just blows my mind. Their balance, their resilience, the fact they want to do it. They navigate around people's legs.
It's special. Most people can't skateboard, so like the dogs that can actually like push as well. And
yeah, they take the one paw off and they have a little go over here. Talking about interviewing and how people can think outside the box. I have a client who has somebody that's been with them and maybe they're in year 2 or 3. And they were never asked to do this, but they set up a little bit of a mini garden party and videoed the whole thing. And it was product placement within the video. Again, that just out, if you're seeing CV after CV after CV, you have to be creative to be noticed these days, particularly in an industry like yourself. So I'm glad to hear that works. And as we've all got more used to being on Zoom or Meets or whatever format we use, people become more relaxed behind a camera, and it definitely will become more the norm for sure.
Yeah. And what you've just said about the fact that this person's done the research, obviously still work for you, which is amazing, but they've done a bit of research, and the amount of people I've come across over the years that they've not done any research on a company they're about to go and work for. And the first thing is, why would you want to work for a company you know nothing about? But as you say, show the respect to the people you're about to potentially be employed by, and say, what's the mission? What are the values? What are you trying to achieve? What type of clients do you work with? Use that in your interview process. I mean, that's, if anyone's watching this and you want to go and work somewhere else, and you want a good position, you want to be paid well, do your research on the company that you're about to go on. And you can do it on the website. You can find the people who work there and find them on LinkedIn, see what posts they're talking about. There's lots of ways to do research. That's my little business tip there.
Love it.
Do you ever hire? Go on. Celebrity lookalike.
Celebrity lookalikes. I mean, the guys that we employ either marketing specialists or content producers, filmmakers, editors, like more like biz dev or finance or whatever. So I don't suppose it really matters what they look like. However, one of our newly lead social media manager, he's just had a recent promotion. People always say he looks like Deck from Ant and Dec.
And does he? Do you think he does?
He does, actually, and also he's a Geordie. So
I was going to say, there's a bit of a Geordie connection there.
Yeah, he actually does look like and does sound like him. So, but no, like to people, it doesn't matter. We don't particularly hire celebrity lookalikes. Just Dean just happens to tick that box, I suppose.
Okay, back to a business question then, Lou.
Yeah.
Who would be a great client for you if you could sort of get in front of somebody that you've not been able to reach yet? Who would that be?
Man, I think. I mean, we all have our like. I would love to work with this client. I'd love to work with that client, and mine is very different to what Clover's would be. There's something about Gymshark that I just really like. I'm fascinated by like their whole journey and the content that they're creating, the whole PR, like the bigger picture stuff, and so I'd say like that would be the one that I'd say.
Gymshark. So let's shout that out then. Let's shout that out. Does anyone know Ben Francis from Gymshark? Give him a message. Tell him he might be getting some good content now, but if he wants to up his game, give Lou a call.
Or any of his marketing team.
Yeah, marketing team. We work well with in-house marketing departments, and we work really well with other marketing and PR agencies as well, because we specialise in video. So yeah, hit us up if you work in the marketing department of Gymshark.
So I think Gymshark's the story of Gymshark's great, and what they do is great, and they definitely think outside the box with the videos. I think they're doing, pardon me, what your slogan is, which is beat the scroll. They do stuff where you go, okay, I'm going to watch that. When we start selling these more, and we've got more Move apparel, and we're doing hoodies, and we're getting, because Move is all about getting people out and about as well as the business side. It's like you've got to be your best human being and be active, be outdoors, go to the gym. When we've got that and we get to a certain level, we hopefully can use a company just like you, or hopefully you, to go and get us out there and get our future clients beating the scroll and paying us some money for our amazing products. That's a good. That'll be a good goal.
Yeah. I like your water bottles. I should get one myself.
We're going to send you one. I mean, just before we went on camera, obviously, Andrea very quickly noticed you've got an orange T-shirt on. And why was that, Andrea?
Oh, that's because that's my favourite colour.
Well, yeah. we're going to do a swap. So you're going to send Andrea a t-shirt. We'll send you an
Yeah,
orange, or not an orange water bottle, whichever colour you want. So we've got a few different colours, like, but it makes, to be fair,
obviously
orange.
orange.
Makes the water taste better, to be fair. So it's 10% better. What about 5-10 minutes left? So let's talk about some of the topics, because I'm conscious that people are watching, and there's a ton of value between all three of us now that we can be given to help people in the business, especially from a marketing perspective. That's what you guys are using, video as the vehicle for getting your marketing message out there. Is the one key thing that is evident throughout the whole of Wonder Films, where you guys know that in any piece of video content and anything else you do, it's got to have a certain element, because that's key within, like, to get your message out there, marketing? What can people learn from you guys about what they should maybe be including in their marketing message?
Yeah, I suppose there's so many different types of content and video content, and it's all about the planning, the strategy, and everything. But I suppose brands come to us to inject personality and to showcase the culture in their business or in their brand. So I think it's. I mean, we started what we did because we saw so many videos that started off with like, "Hi, my name is Lou and I'm from Wonder Films," and sell, and it was all about what the business owner or what the business wanted to tell the world, rather than putting out what the world wanted to see. And I think, I don't know if this is answering your question, but I think that one element, I suppose, is making sure that that it beats the scroll. It's something that that has personality, because people will scroll past if it doesn't.
So is it true then, because you heard so many statistics and people, marketing experts, saying on video, or even anything really, you've got to capture someone's attention within 2 to 3 seconds and get them thinking, wait there, I need to stay on this and keep watching. Is that true? And if so, what's a tactic to do that?
Yeah, I mean, it's so true, and I'd probably say, like, you've got to capture the attention even sooner than that now. When we put out a video, it's like, what's that first frame, like that very first, like that very first frame. Yeah, like, it could be the thumbnail, or it could be just like the first, like, split second, like, what is it? And like, are people just going to scroll past? Is it like, we always advise people not to put the logo, animated logo, at the start of a video, because people will instantly think, oh, it's an advert, and they'll scroll past. So we get constantly asked like, oh, can it start on our logo? And we try to advise why we wouldn't do that. And it's kind of, you got to hook, you got to capture that attention straight away. So yeah, we've got like terrible attention spans now. Like,
I mean, and they've got shorter and shorter, haven't they? So I have a question for you. Doing business all starts with your funnel, and most people are the technician and they can do the job, whether you're the painter, the architect, or the caterer. They're actually filling the funnel and keeping it fulfilled at all times.
Yeah.
What's your biggest learn about keeping that funnel? What do you do as a business yourselves to keep that flow into that sales funnel?
We're just always visible. Like, we're omnipresent, and I don't mean that in like a big-headed way, but like, you have to be in business. You have to like be the first company that people think of when they think, right, I need video. All right, okay, I need whatever that service is, whatever that service or product is. Like, all right, it's you, and I think, like, I'm probably not the best person to talk about like the sales funnel, because I don't really do sales at Wonder, but I do know that it's not just our business development manager that goes out and networks and meets people. It's like, it's our socials, like all of the content that we're creating for ourselves, our website, our SEO, our doing things like this and meeting amazing people and having really great conversations about business and just all that kind of stuff. Like it all kind of adds together, and you can't just rely on those phone calls saying like, oh, we need a video, we found you on Google. Like that's all good, but it's got to be so much bigger than that. I don't know if that answered your question.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you. I realise we're nearly at 40 minutes mark, so sort of maybe the last question before we wrap up, and thank Lou for being an incredible guest today.
Of course. I mean, Craig Carden just put in there, Graham, if you want to put that on the screen, do you have a strategy? That could mean a strategy for lots of things, but I assume it means like for your funnel and generally within the business. Let's see, omnipresence. It was good. We like that word anyway. I achieved that. Well, I like to lead by example, and I agree with what you said, Lou. It takes more effort, but I post on TikTok daily now. I post on Instagram daily. I post on LinkedIn pretty much every day. So I'm on 3 different platforms, and if I had more time, I'd probably do TikTok, YouTube as well, and do shorts. But you have got to be in a few places, and if you create one video, why not just do the extra bit of effort and post it on the other platforms? Maybe do it on different days, But what's next before we just ask people how they can connect with yourself and either contact you regarding what you do or just be able to follow your journey and the Wonder Films journey? What's next for Wonder Films? Where do you see the company in like 1 year, 3 years, 5 years? Where does it end up, or does it not have an actual set vision? It just grow as much as we can. What does it look like?
Yeah, we do actually have the next 5 years all mapped out and planned, but obviously business, you can't fully map that out and have you can't just be like, all right, my strategy is there now, and that's it. Like it's going to go to plan. Like it might shift a bit, but yeah, we've changed so much in 5 years. Like where we might be on our 10th birthday, like. It's hard to think as much as you plan to that. So
where would you love it to be?
Sorry?
If there was nothing in the way, nothing could stop you with your vision, where would you be? How many staff would you have? Where would you be located?
Wonder, we see Wonder as being the go-to video marketing agency worldwide. We're already working with international clients, but we have ambitions to open an office in America and in a studio in Australia, because Australia is where it all started. So we've got massive ambitions. We also have like different arms to Wonder as well, so the content marketing agency, but we're pitching ideas to TV and like places like Netflix and things like that. So that's really exciting. We're just on a tropical beach. Yeah, definitely. The name Wonder Films was on a Queensland beach, so it'd be nice to be able to be like, right, okay, year 10. We've opened up that Australia studio, and we're working all the biggest brands in the world, and even like regional, more local companies, like working with us, because we do create the best content, and just being able to innovate and provide really cool creative opportunities for people to have a really cool, rewarding career as well. So that's the dream, kind of summarized very briefly.
That's the strategy, not the dream, by the sound of it. So, Lou, obviously Mark will close in a second, but how can people contact you? What do they need to do?
Yeah, we're on pretty much every social channel. Personally, my fave channel is LinkedIn, so that's probably the best place to get in touch with. Just type in Wonder Films, Wonder with an A, and yeah, we'll be there. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, LinkedIn's my fave, so I'm a bit more active on that one.
Amazing. Thank you.
Good choice. Good choice. That's where I pretty much started my social media journey, and I've branched out to the other stuff. But yeah, LinkedIn's where I definitely never neglect that one. But yeah, it's been an amazing chat. I'm hoping that everybody, well, I'm not hoping, I know for a fact you will have, but people who've been watching live, and if you watch this on a replay, you've got, you know, tons of advice there, tons of tips and tricks and all that good stuff from people who are actually in business, doing it in the trenches, growing something good. We know how we can contact you now, and obviously we'll be putting it in the sort of the wherever this gets posted. It's on all the, we leave that to Graham. He posted it all up on the Move channel, but all your socials will be in there, so people can just click the link. We're hoping to get you onto one of our Move Online meetings, because I think you'd fit in well. You get some good advice, but I think you'd be able to give a lot of good advice to our Move members. So whenever you're free, get yourself onto a Move Online meeting, and we'll obviously stay in touch as well. But guys, hope you've enjoyed watching this. It's been live. We love doing them. We'll be back in a month, but for now, Lou, we appreciate you taking your time out, out of your busy schedule, what it sounds like. Thank you very much. We'll see you all soon.
Amazing. Thank you.